one of the most interesting crossover partnerships I've seen lately is with this Bybit trading competition and poker shares. And this is why we've had trading competitions in the past. In crypto, I've seen them in stocks, I've seen them in demo accounts, but they seem to be pretty prevalent here in the crypto space. People put up a Bitcoin prize pool. In the case of Bybit, I think they're putting up $2 million. But poker shares, the company you're a part of, is letting people bet on teams like you can bet on poker players or bet on a sports team to win. How is that working?
Yeah, so I mean, in the same way you're, trying to figure it out, so are we, kind of thing. This is something we haven't handicapped before, and it's also, it's a format that we're not that used to. But it's just like we don't mind kind of jumping right in and just kind of see what we can do, see what happens, etc. And it just seems like a format where I'm sure some people see this competition going on, they're interested in it, they think it's a cool idea. Maybe they have a friend participating, but the stakes are higher than they want. I think there's a minimum investment in this, and it's like maybe they only want to bet $10, and there is no there is no $10 tier in the Bybit World Series of Trading. So I think it seemed like something like, hey, people can get in on the action that way, or it's like people can bet their team outperforms a friend's team, or like whatever bets other people seem to think. And then it's also just kind of cool engagement. We can kind of work with them and say, oh, at this stage, the odds have shifted this way because of, the recent EOS rally, or, things like that. Like we can definitely kind of be mindful of things there. But yeah, I mean, we're just getting started. We're still not even aware, how many teams there are, what the breakdowns like of teams, et cetera. So it's like we don't even have the market up on the site yet, but hopefully that changes in the next few days. And then, we're just kind of gonna play it by ear and try to just make it as engaging as possible. Probably start out with fairly small maximum bets. Like that's always our mentality. It's like, if you have something like this, you might price someone as a 200 to 1 underdog, and they were only a 100 to 1 underdog or something something like that, and immediately someone gets a 100% ROI. If that happens, we'd rather that happen on a $100 bet than a $2,000 bet, kind of thing. So with a lot of these sort of more exotic markets, we kind of put them up, and then we gradually raise limits. Just sort of hoping that if there are bets on the site that will kind of crush us, that people will crush them for small dollar amounts before big dollar amounts, and then beyond that, it's just kind of play the numbers game, feel it out, and just hope it's doable. We've done a few things like this in the past where we've more or less concluded we can't handicap that in any sort of profitable fashion. This is totally something that it won't surprise me if it fits in that category, but we're in a spot where we're not trying to win 10 out of 10 bets. We're trying to win 7 or 8 out of 10 bets. And if this is something where we just get wrecked, hey, we get wrecked. At least I didn't short DeFi.
It'd be par for the course here in crypto, using the word wrecked. Yeah. You're trading in this too, though, Mike. What's your plan? I mean, this isn't like normal, looking at DeFi and saying, is this a good investment, or should I short this, or should I buy Bitcoin? A trading competition has a poker tournament feel. I mean, it's different. It's a set time period. You're probably taking bigger risks. You're going into the World Series of Trading here. What's the thought process?
Yeah, so I mean, so for me, of poker players, there are cash game players and there are tournament players, and I've always loved the nature of tournaments where, I think a cash game is sort of like a more raw form of poker. We sit down, we play a hand, we can come and go as we like. The stakes don't change, yada yada yada. We focus on the long run, etc. Whereas when you play a tournament, there's the stakes change, the dynamic changes. You need to look at where you are in the tournament. You need to look at what the payouts are. You need to look at other kind of incentives different players might have, etc. And then you sort of use this sort of unconventional payout structure to try to deviate from your normal or proper play to figure out what's right in that exact dynamic. And a trading competition seems similar to that. To me, I think as a trader, it's like, okay, buy Bitcoin, keep buying Bitcoin, and it'll probably go up.
Sure.
Is kind of, but it's like I'm someone who's usually somewhat apprehensive to, to be short Bitcoin. I'm somewhat apprehensive to be overly margin long. And, with altcoins, I'm, often even more concerned or whatnot. Whereas like here, especially some of the big cap alts, like with guessing what's going to happen with Ethereum, I really feel like I'm, in the last day, Ethereum rallied 12%, and I'm over here, and I'm, Ethereum's probably my second favorite coin. I'm still just kind of like, whoa, where'd that come from, kind of thing. So it's like I do feel like this is not necessarily my strong suit, but I do think I enjoy kind of like looking at payout structures. I enjoy looking at kind of the dynamic of things, and ultimately the goal of this competition. It's not like you're trying to save for your retirement. You're not trying to earn your 4% per year or anything. Like you're really trying to hit a home run. And that's kind of the mentality I'm going to bring on, where it's like you need to come into this, and and if you're just someone who comes in, you're just your portfolio is 60% cash, 40% Bitcoin. Okay, you're probably not
going to have a shot. Yeah.
Things would need to get exactly. You need to make kind of volatile plays. You probably need to kind of be a little bit unconventional to sort of deviate from the herd. And I'm definitely kind of coming in and just I want to swing for the fences. I want to try to win this thing. I want my team to win this thing, and that's kind of the mentality that I'm bringing forth.
I don't know all the terms. I do know. I think it's a 200 Bitcoin prize pool has been announced. I think that's regardless how many people play. So that's 2 million up for grabs. I think the buy-in's like 1,000. So there's pretty ridiculous upside taking the betting out of it, right? You can bet on yourself and even increase the odds, but if you have a team of 10 people, everyone buys in for $1,000, you average an ROI of, 20, 50%, maybe everyone 2X's over that month. You hit a hot streak, everyone's long EOS, and for whatever reason, EOS takes off. I mean, the asymmetric upside is there. It's a wild, I hope this becomes more prevalent. I hope there are more trading competitions like this.
No, and that's one of the things that the idea that we're all long EOS, that's one of the things I think is so cool about this is it makes sense that your team really like you live and die as a team kind of thing, where it's like you come in and it's like we're the guys and we're all shorting XRP.
Yep.
We're shorting in this competition. I'm sure that some of the bigger traders are like going to be selling XRP on other platforms. They have their $1,000 Bybit competition. They'll be selling $10 million of XRP elsewhere, trying to get the best of it or whatnot. But it makes sense to be, unless you have a huge team, 100 guys on your team or something like that. But if you've got just 10 of you, it makes a lot of sense to kind of have some of the same trades going on. And then it's also a bit funny where, hey, say you're the team that's all margin long EOS. If there's another team that's all margin long EOS or whatnot, if they're more long than you are, at some point you need to go deviate from them.
Sure.
Whether that's upping the margin or just being like, all right, we're done with EOS. Now we're, margin long ETH or margin shorting Bitcoin. Or, you just kind of, you need to
the game will evolve.
Yourself. Yeah, exactly. So for me, it seems like a fun concept. I love, throughout poker, I've always loved kind of, the different accolades, trying to, win tournaments on different tours, trying to kind of, pad the resume and whatnot. And something like this just seems, it's like at the end of the day, the whole finance industry is something, it's one of the biggest industries in the world, but there's no there's no real kind of accolades the way that there are in a lot of other industries. You can have fame, once you're, super rich, you can get a small social media following, but it's like you compare the social media followings of like your random dude who's made $5 billion versus just
like a Jeopardy winner.
Or even just like someone posting scantily clad pictures on Instagram or whatnot. You're like, wow, this fucking, this hedge fund manager has 4,000 followers and she has 4 million. Like, okay, the market has spoken as to who matters more, kind of thing. So it's just like it's definitely, I think that the things that you can get out of finance and out of trading that aren't money, there's a pretty limited range of them. And I think this is kind of a novel way of trying to add more layers to the game. It would be like in poker, no one thinks the world poker champion is the best player in the world. It's remarkable when a top 100 player in the world ends up being a world champion. And, I think if you were to look at the top players today, like, if you take the top 100 players right now, probably none of them have ever been world poker champion kind of thing, which is kind of crazy. And it's just, but it's nice that everyone is out there competing for that accolade. And I think something like this can fit into a similar category where it's an exciting thing to go for.
Sure. Like money is obviously the most objective way to score how well you're doing in trading and in poker. That you can go find the best game and you can crush that game, make a ton of money. But it's cool. There's something special about Phil Hellmuth being able to say he has 15 or X amount of bracelets or whatever it is he has, right? Like that. Yeah. There's an extra level to that. It brings a whole new level of competition. I wonder if there's a brace. Is there a bracelet at the end of this WSOT? If there isn't,
that's a good question. If there is, yeah, I mean, if they're giving away $2 million, I'm sure that they'll probably have some decent hardware as well. They've got to have something there.
So your team, do you already have it set up? What's the team name? As people are going to start looking not only to form a team to trade, but also to bet. What's your team looking like? What's the team name?
Yeah. So have you seen that interview I did after I busted out to Jamie Gold back, when I was 18?
Never seen it.
Okay, so it was my first time ever playing on a TV table. They interviewed me after, and I was kind of heated. I had just taken a bad beat or whatnot. And I just shook my head and I said, "Live players suck." And it's still like a meme within poker, like a decade later. So I made my team name Live Traders Suck. So we're team Live Traders Suck. So that's if you want to take part in the competition, you want to be on my team. That's us.
Wait, I might have seen that. Why did you say that? Did he call you light or what? What was the scenario? Probably one of the biggest spots in your career, right? First TV table. What was going on there? What's the situation?
Yeah, the situation was, so he had just won the world championships, a year and a half earlier or something like that. At that time, he was number one on the all-time money list, etc. And was definitely, playing accordingly, I suppose. We just got in a big pot where I think he saw that I was, young, maybe a little nervous being on TV or whatnot, and just really tried to bully me. And we got all in on a board. It was something like 9-6-4 board. We each put in 100 big blinds. I had pocket jacks, made a decently big call going in for stacks with jacks for so many chips there. And he had pocket threes for an underpair. And then after we get all in, the turn card's a 3.
Oh, no.
And he goes, that's what you get for calling with jacks. Kind of heckles me for having sucked out and whatnot. So then, I get eliminated or whatnot. And then, they kind of cut out the interviewer's questions or whatnot to make it more funnier or whatnot. So they, I forget exactly what they asked me. They said something like, "Oh, what was it like playing against the world champion? Do you have a lot of respect for his game?" Or, something along those lines, just trying to kind of stir the pot. And I just kind of shake my head and say, "Live players suck." This huge blanket statement, which I don't even think I really agreed with, but I was, kind of steamed, and that's kind of stood the test of time. And people still, everyone, probably every couple months, I still get someone being like, "Hey, Mike, what do you think of the live players? Are they any good?" There's awesome. There's a lot of trolling going on there.
That's awesome. I imagine we're going to see quite a bit of trolling going on, especially I can already imagine the teams that are going to be short XRP, printing money. XRP is going to rip a nice big green candle. It's going to be great, man. It's going to bring a lot of crazy strategy. What do you see now going into the competition? I know I asked you your strategy, but do you have any hints you want to lay out there? Maybe even kind of a little decoy, maybe a little head fake. Are you looking at Bitcoin? Are you looking at ETH? Are you looking at XRP? Do you have anything in mind?
I'm thinking I'll probably spend most of the time in shitcoins. I'm thinking if I get into a big lead or something like that, okay, maybe I'll kind of go, try to protect the lead by having Bitcoin or whatnot. But it seems, again, going for home runs. And, I think that's probably going to be, whatever are the smallest market caps on the site. So, I'm thinking, likely going to be doing something with EOS or XRP. I haven't looked into if they allow the same amount of margin on all coins. If they allow, bigger margin on Bitcoin, okay, I might have some Bitcoin or whatnot, but most likely I'll be going for kind of one of the mid to high caps.
I believe it's 20 to 50x on the high caps, and then 100x on Bitcoin. That's what I think it is. But yeah, man, it's going to be so fun to watch. Anyways, you got that competition. You got a ton of Bitcoin on the line for shooting 90 of 100 basketballs. I mean, you got a lot of bets going on. People can bet on it on poker shares and obviously follow the action in the Bybit competition. It's going to be fun to watch heat up.